Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the class. Today, we will start a new chapter, and that is legislature. This is one of the most important organ of the government, and the whole chapter will deal with the importance of legislature, the functions and powers of the two houses of the parliament, and the law-making procedure, then how the parliament controls the executive and how the parliament regulates itself. All these points are discussed under this chapter. So we will start with this, that what is the need of a legislature. In this connection, you must be aware that there are three organs of the government, and the legislative organ of the government is concerned with the lawmaking process. The law, it's a law making body, and the prime responsibility of the parliament is to make law. But at in the modern time, in present time, we see that parliament is not just a law making body. Its importance is not because it's a law making body, but its importance is because it is the center of all democratic process. Democracy is possible. Democracy, which is a concept, which is a theoretical. In theory, we see democracy. It becomes practical only because of parliament. It becomes possible in our practical life only because of our parliament. Uh, Parliament is a representative body. All the people of the country elect their representatives, and these representatives form the parliament. So it is very much important, very basis. It is the basis of representative democracy. We cannot think of a representative democracy in the absence of parliament. Okay, so what is the importance of parliament? Parliament makes democracy possible in practical life. Uh, it is the body of the representatives of the people, and in the absence of parliament, we cannot think of uh, representative democracy. So, this is the importance. Now, we will come to another thing. We see that in modern time, what is happening, that it is the trend in all over the world, almost all the countries of the world, that the legislature is losing its central place. It is it has no more been the central place of the government. Instead of legislature, which organ has become more important? That is executive. And in our country also, we are feeling this shift of uh, importance. The importance which was earlier given to the legislature, now this importance has been shifted to the executive. And why it is happening? It is happening because we can see that in our day to day life, the cabinet is the most powerful organ. Any policy regarding any decision regarding policy making is taken by the cabinet. It sets all the agenda, how the work will be done, and execution is also done by the cabinet. Any bill which is presented in the legislature is presented by the members of the uh, ruling party and this cabinet members only. So in this way, we see that the parliament, the powers of the parliament, the influence of the parliament has declined. But here one thing we must remember, that the cabinet may be very powerful. Okay, the prime minister may be very powerful, but in spite of his power and influence, what is required the for the prime minister as well as the council of ministers to be in power, that they must have the support of the lower house in the parliament. They must have the support support of the majority of the members of the Lok Sabha. So, in all the countries, in some way or another, the executive is in parliamentary democracy. We are talking about parliamentary democracy. In all the parliamentary democracies, the executive is controlled by the parliament, and they can hold power uh, only when they have the support of the majority in the Lok Sabha. So they cannot be more powerful than the parliament. Parliament is the body which is controlling the executive. Parliament has the power to ask questions to the ministers. Whatever ministers are doing regarding the functioning of the governance, regarding the governance, whatever is done by the ministers, they are accountable for all these activities towards the representatives of the people. In all both the houses of the parliament, they can be asked many questions, and not only this, that they have to answer the question. The important thing is that they have to answer the question in a satisfying manner. The members of the parliament must be satisfied with the answer which is given by the ministers. And if they are not satisfied with the answer of the minister, then they have many options. They can walk out of the house. They can show their dissatisfaction, and the whole world, the whole country will become aware of these activities, and this will impact the public opinion. So in this way, the parliament is a very powerful organ. Moreover, the parliament is also important because whatever issues which are very much important at the national level, all these issues are discussed in the parliament. And parliament is a body which gives a platform to the members to represent the problems of the people whom they are representing, and they discuss all the things. Debate and discussion is one of the most important function of the parliament, and that is the basis of the democracy also. So moreover, we see that parliament is composed in such a way, the composition of parliament is such that it is a true representative body. Candidates, the representatives from all over the country are representatives from all over the country are there in the Lok Sabha. And Rajya Sabha is also a representative body because it represents different states on the basis of its population. So these are the importance of uh, parliament. Okay, now we will see some of the newspaper reports, and by reading these reports we can understand the importance of parliament. If it, many times it is said that the executive is the only powerful organ, all the decisions are taken by the executive, the parliament has no role to play. It is just people their debate and discuss many important issue, but there is no utility of those debate and discussion. But this is completely incorrect. If we see these examples, you can see it is here. On 28th February 2002, what happened? The Union Minister Jaswant Singh, he announced in his budget. The budget is to be passed by the Lok Sabha, okay, both the houses of the parliament. And in this budget proposal, he proposed an increase of rupees 12 in the price of a 50 kg bag of urea which is used for the purpose of fertilizer. Okay, so there was a proposal to increase the price of urea by rupees 20 for a 50 kg bag. And there was also some increase in the price of two other fertilizers also. Okay, and because of this, what happened? The subsidy was decreased. जो सब्सिडी दिया जाता था उन फर्टिलाइजर्स पे, वो सब्सिडी कम हो गया. And हो जाता, it was only a proposal. And because of this proposal, if it was passed, then what would have happened, that our farmers had to suffer a lot, because the price of the urea will go up, would have been gone up, and this could have been increased their cost of production. So it was against the interest of the farmers. So what happened, that that was the incident of 28th February, okay, 2002. Then there was so much protest. The members of the parliament, the opposition party, farmers association, all were against the decision of the union finance minister, and the government was under huge pressure from the parliament. And because of this, what happened, that on 11th March 2002, the finance minister had to roll back the increase in fertilizer prices under intense opposition pressure. opposition जो है वो प्रेशर डाल रही थी, and where this pressure was कहाँ हम इसको देख पा रहे थे, व्हाट इज द प्लेटफॉर्म through which the opposition was putting pressure on the executive, that was parliament. So in this way we can see that because of parliament, because of the powers of parliament, the executive has to uh, roll back its decision. Whatever decision was taken by the executive, it has to roll back that decision. So, this is the power of the parliament. This is the power of the representatives of the people. And this is, we can say, this is a victory of democracy. Okay. Now, again, there is one more example. On 4th June 1998, the Lok Sabha witnessed acrimonious scenes over the hike in urea and petroleum process. And this is also about the problem of uh, there was rise in the price of urea and petroleum petroleum, and the people and the representatives of the people were very much dissatisfied because of this price rise in urea and petroleum products, and they staged a walkout, okay, in order to show their protest against the price rise. They started a walkout, and the whole house was not able to work for 2 days because of the pressure, because of the activities of the opposition. The opposition was putting so much pressure on the government that the proceedings of the house could not be done for 2 days. And the finance minister uh, The finance minister in his budget proposal had proposed a hike of 50 paisa per kilogram of urea to reduce subsidy on it. And then what happened? The finance minister uh, proposed the budget, and in this budget, there was a proposal of hike of 50 paisa per kilogram of urea. But again, there was because of the pressure of the opposition party in the parliament, the government has to roll back the hike in urea prices. So, this is the condition, this is the importance of parliament. Then again, we see that on 22nd February 1983, in a rare move, the Lok Sabha today unanimously decided to suspend official business and give precedence to debate on Assam. Home Minister PC Sethi made a statement: I seek the cooperation of all members, whatever their views and policies, in promoting harmony among different communities and groups living in Assam. What is needed now is not acrimony but a healing touch. So, there was some problem was there in the Assam, and the members of the Lok Sabha wanted to unanimously they wanted to discuss the issue of Assam, and because of for that, in order to discuss the issue of Assam, all the members decided unanimously to suspend official business. Okay, and start debate on Assam. So this is the importance of Lok Sabha. This is the importance of Parliament, that the issues which are so much important for national interest are given priority in the proceedings of the Lok Sabha. Then we see that Congress members voiced protest against atrocities on Harijan in Andhra Pradesh. So these are the normal functioning of the Parliament. Uh, both the houses express especially Lok Sabha, it is the representative body. The members of the Lok Sabha are the representatives of the people. They present represent the people, the problems of the people, the interests of the people, the demands of the people of their constituency is put forwarded by the representatives, and then it is given, there is debate and discussion on these issues, and the government has the government is put under pressure to take any decision or to roll back any decision. Okay, so we can see that the Parliament is so much important. Okay, now in our country we have a Parliament which has two houses, and this is called bicameral legislature. You must understand these terms: bicameral. Bi matlab two, टू हाउसेस जब होते हैं तो उनको हम बाई कैमरल कहते हैं, और जब वन हाउस होता है तो उसको हम यूनी कैमरल कहते हैं. ओके, नाउ दीज टू हाउसेस, देयर इज काउंसिल. वन हाउस इज काउंसिल ऑफ स्टेट और द राज्यसभा. Okay, this house of the parliament represent the states, the states of the federation, and this representation is uh, given on the basis of population. Okay, and there is also house of people or the Lok Sabha. So these are the two houses of the parliament. At the state level we can see that our constitution has given the states, it is not compulsory for all the states to have a bicameral legislature. They can have a bicameral or unicameral legislature. It is upon, according to need, they can decide regarding the number of the houses. At present we have actually before the formation of before the change of the status of Jammu and Kashmir, when Jammu and Kashmir was a state, it has a bicameral legislature. But at present, the status of Jammu Kashmir has changed. Now it has become a UT, two UTs, Jammu and Kashmir. These are the Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh. These are the two UTs. So in UT, we will exclude this. At present, there are these Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka. In these state legislature, there are two houses. Okay, so the one house is the Legislative Assembly, and the other house is the Legislative Council. The Legislative Assembly is the representative body of the people, and the Legislative Council is an indirectly elected body. Okay, and our country, why our constitution makers adopted this bicameral legislature? Because our country is full of diversity, isn't it? There are so many people living with different religion, different languages, different cultures. So, in order to give representation to all the diversities, then we have such a large country. So, all the geographical regions should also be represented in the, should also get representation in the House of people. So our constitution makers decided to have this bicameral legislature. Okay, and not only representation, because one house is representing the people and the other house is representing the states. But other than representation, what was more important for taking this decision of bicameral legislature was that all the decisions, whatever decisions are being taken by one house, that will be reconsidered by the another house. So it will be a type of चेक. अगर किसी एक हाउस से कुछ गलती हो जाती है तो अदर हाउस विल बी देयर टू पॉइंट आउट दैट मिस्टेक. So every matter will be discussed twice, once in the one house and then second time in the other house. So what happened? The views of the different representatives will be expressed, and whatever loophole, whatever weakness in that proposal, it will come out, and there is less possibility of mistakes. So our constitution makers adopted this system, this bicameral legislature. You can read here: an upper house could perform the useful function of being a revising body. Normally, in a parliament, when there is two houses, one house is upper house and the another house is lower house. Which is upper house? The upper house is the Rajya Sabha or the Council of States, because it represents the states, and the status of states is higher than the status of the individual. So it is upper house. And Lok Sabha, or the house of people, is the lower house. Why is it lower house? Because it is representing the people. Okay, and the status of the people is lower than the status of the states, so it is lower house. Okay, so in this we can see Purnima Banerjee. This is the view of Purnima Banerjee. She is saying that an upper house could perform the useful function of being a revising body. Okay, it is just like a body which is revising all the decisions which are taken by the parliament, no, which is taken by the Lok Sabha. Okay, so it is like a revising body, and its views may count, but not its votes. Its votes are not. We will see in this chapter that the powers of the upper house is very less, and the lower house is much more powerful than the upper house. And in on many occasions, its vote doesn't matter, but this is the thing which is expressed in this. Its views may count, but not its votes. Voting, whatever voting is done in Rajya Sabha is not that important, but the views are very much important. So those who could not enter into rough and tumble of active politics could advise the lower house. So the people who are there in the upper house, these are the people who are not very much active in politics. That is why they have not gone for the Lok Sabha elections, and now they are in the Rajya Sabha. So now they cannot be the member of Lok Sabha, but can advise the Lok Sabha. Okay, so this is the importance of having bicameral legislature. Now we will study about Rajya Sabha. Okay, Rajya Sabha represents the states of India, and the members of the Rajya Sabha are indirectly elected body. It is not directly elected. The members are not directly elected, just like Lok Sabha. It is a indirectly elected body. Okay, and who elects members to the who elects members of the Rajya Sabha? Members of the Rajya Sabha are elected by the members of the state legislative assemblies. Okay. uh, the uh, election to the state legislative assembly is held just like Lok Sabha. People directly take part in the election of the legislative assembly and they elect their representatives who are called MLA, member of legislative assembly. They are called MLA, member of legislative assembly. These are elected by the people, and now these MLAs elect the members of the Rajya Sabha. So they are the members of the Rajya Sabha are elected indirectly by the people, because people are electing MLAs and these MLAs are electing the members of the Rajya Sabha. Okay. Now we see that there are two principles in order to give representation to the second chamber. That is, second chamber is Rajya Sabha. Okay, these are the various names: Rajya Sabha, Council of State, Upper House, second chamber. Okay, so how to give representation to people in Rajya Sabha? There are two different principles in this regard. What are these principles? Now we will see. The first is to give equal representation to all the parts of the country, irrespective of their size or population. In this, what happens that all the different states of the country are given equal number of representatives. They can send all the states of the country can send equal number of representatives. There may be variation in the size area of the states, in the size of the population. There may be variation, but these variations are not taken into consideration. All the states will send equal number of representatives. For example, Sikkim and Rajasthan. You can see Sikkim is such a small state and Rajasthan is such a large area wise, if you can see. So both the states will send 10 representatives each. So this is equal representation. This is one of the principles which is adopted in many countries. And the second type of representation, the second principle of representation is that all the different countries, different states of the country will be given representation according to their population. If they have more population, then they will send more representative, and if they have more less population, then they will send less representative. So in this, what will happen, we see that Sikkim has less population, lesser population than Rajasthan, so Sikkim will send uh, lesser number of representatives than Rajasthan in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so this is the condition. In USA, what is adopted? In USA, every state send equal number of representatives in the upper house or the second chamber. In US, this second chamber is called Senate. Yeah, these are the very important things you must know. In USA, the second chamber is called Senate, first of all, and in this Senate, all the states of the USA send equal number of representatives. This is based on the equality of all the states. All the states should be given equality of status. लेकिन इसमें प्रॉब्लम भी है. What is the problem? Problem is that a small state would have the same representation as the larger states. So this will not be more representative, because जहाँ पर कम है population और जहाँ पर ज़्यादा है population, both the states are sending same number of representatives. So it will not be proper. Okay, so in our country, we have adopted different system of representation, and that is the number of members to be elected from each state has been fixed by the fourth schedule of the constitution. And what is the basis of this number of members? Number of members are fixed according to the population of the state. Okay, so this is also important. The number of members to be elected from each state has been fixed by the fourth schedule of the constitution. अगर हमारे यहाँ भी अमेरिका वाला सिस्टम होता तो फिर क्या होता? तो ये होता कि जैसे यूपी है, इन यूपी वी हैव पॉपुलेशन ऑफ 12 lakh. Uttar Pradesh with a population of, this is the population of Uttar Pradesh, 1998.12 lakh. 1998.12 lakh is the population of UP. And we can see Sikkim. Sikkim has a population of 6.10 lakh. So both the states will send the same number of representatives. If we have adopted, if we have adopted the system of American representation of the second chamber, then it would have happened that both the states, Uttar Pradesh and Sikkim, both are sending same number of representatives. So our constitution makers were aware that this kind of thing should not be done. So states with larger population get more representatives than states with smaller population get. So thus a more populous state like Uttar Pradesh sends 31 members. Okay, as UP is more populous, so it sends 31 members to the Rajya Sabha, while a smaller and less popular state like Sikkim has one seat, only one seat in the Rajya Sabha. So Sikkim sends one member and Uttar Pradesh sends 31 members. So we will discuss more in the next class. Uh, this is all. And what is the basis of representation in the second house, in the second chamber of the parliament? Okay, we have discussed up to this.